Hello and welcome back to the podcast We Are Selling. My name's Lee Woodward, your coach and host, and the author of the Complete Salesperson course. This week on the podcast, we are discussing visual tools of trade. And as we progress through our career as a real estate professional, about every 18 months, you've got to completely chuck everything out, refresh it, modernize it, and bring it back into where the world is today and their expectation of how we present or showcase real estate. A brilliant example that I've been showing at the Complete Salesperson course is the work of 4069 Real Estate, which is in Brisbane's southwestern corridor. And the principal director and founder of that business joins me today, Luke Heeremans. Luke, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks for the invitation. Really appreciate it.
Now, your team's in shock because they listen to this every week and you haven't told them you're coming on air.
That's right. So we'll be doing, we religiously listen to your podcast weekly, and we're doing our team training on Friday. It'll be interesting to hear if they actually have been paying attention, and it'll be good to see who's actually going to be listening. Yeah.
Well, Luke, let's get into the interview. Firstly, take us into the thinking behind 4069 Real Estate. Was it deliberate you didn't want to expand into different postcodes? What was going on?
I wanted to really localize a personal approach to the business. I wanted to make sure that we could truly stay true to our name, which is locals helping locals, and really be an established brand within the community where we're raising our children and starting our family. So 10 years ago, 11 years ago now, that was the thinking behind the brand.
4069 is where all the team members live and the family are, but you're very embedded in the community. You're not on the edge of it.
Yeah. So a lot of our staff you've got children in the local schools. The football club, we sponsor the local football club. So our brand is on the front of the jerseys. They've roped me in to play soccer, over 35s, and I managed to get to work on a Saturday for open homes after a Friday night game. But it's wonderful. I really like being involved in the local football club, the local community, and being a part of it. And since we first started, we always want to give back to the community as well. So $500 out of every sale that we do, every commission, we always give back to a local charity of the vendor's choice upon settlement. And that's really good for vendors that may be leaving the community, 4069, mums and dads that might have been there for 17, 18 years and decided it's time now to make that sea change. But for us, it's really nice to say, hey, here's a $500 donation to the local church or the local men's shed as a gesture of thanks from the Smith family who have been living here for the last 18 years. So it's really nice to give back. That's what we like.
Well, let's get into this incredible project you took on middle of last year, I think it would have been, when you decided to absolutely rebuild the visual tools, blending that into the training that you've been doing. What happened and what were the tools that were built?
In the past, we had a 24-page huge magazine, which was our listing kit. And before that, there was the old leather-bound listing kit that we used to bring along with a few example brochures. But after coming to multiple of your Complete Salesperson, a lot of your Complete Salesperson courses, I realized that we need to evolve. And as you said, every 18 months, it's really nice to actually modernize and tweak and adjust your listing presentation, but also your visual tools. So I called you in a bit of a pickle going, mate, I need to reinvent this, not the whole wheel, but we need to build this into something that's going to be very user-friendly and a stage-by-stage approach that is going to be very easy to understand, but actually covers all bases. And it's exactly what we did. We reached out and collaborated with yourself, and we came up with something quite special that we've been using till today.
Well, let's discuss the tools. So we went from the big booklet about us, everything going on, to a very simple selling system, which is a leave behind. And in that document, you've beautifully doing the stage 1 behind the scenes and all the deliverables that you do. Then stage 2, going live. And I love, and our listener can't see this today, but instead of all this text, it's got the deliverables of what things are going to be happening, more like a to-do list of deliverables, but it does work as a fee justification process for you, I would imagine. And then you got all the photos, meet the team behind the property success, and then supporting local. It's a real sharp, smart, brief document. How have you been delivering that in the lounge room, and how was it adapting from big, massive book to a stripped back listing system?
Yeah, well, the big book was page by page. It felt like an old Amway presentation, and it was sort of like, oh, would you like extra steak knives with that, with the big booklet? But this one is very simple. It's justifiable, and yet you're exact. It does actually justify your fee. So when delivering it, it's simple to. It's a 3-stage fold out, so you can read it upside down. It's got key visual prompts and a list in each stage of 10 items to address, and it's just good prompts for us when delivering the presentation to owners. So, stage one, that behind the scenes stage where we're sitting down in the lounge room with the vendors after we've done our tourable moments around the house and we've worked out the hidden value and we've had a nice discussion about the reasons why and how and the motivation and the background on what they're thinking as far as time and when they want to sell. And we're sitting down in our lounge room at the coffee table having a discussion around what to expect, because a lot of people in our area, the average time that they sell is 16 to 18 years. So they usually go through a school cycle and then they decide, look, it's time the kids have left. Kids have left home. They've moved on to their careers. And it's time for us to make that move. And so they haven't made a transaction in real estate for quite some time. And so it's up to us to actually give them a nice, simple approach, a nice way that they'll be able to think, well, this makes sense. And we guided every step along the way with the process, and we feel comfortable and trusted with the agent that this is how it'll work. So that's how we like to sit down, deliver the presentation. And I think the best way to do it is, well, what we've found is to do exactly that, the 3 stages. So stage one is behind the scenes. We love to sort of do all of that behind the scenes work with you to help you along the process in getting your property ready for sale. This is where a lot of the heavy lifting gets done, where we organise trades, any maintenance or any mulch or guarding that needs to be done. We'll take the team through. You'll get to meet our sales team. They may or may not have a buyer that could be suitable for the property, which would be great. And it helps us also establish the setting the price, so we know where we sit with the price when the team come through. And we also can take the occasional buy through in this period where they can help us decide where it sits price-wise, whether it's going to be sold. They might buy it straight off the bat, but more than likely they'll say, hey, this is what we think as far as presentation from a buyer's mind. This is what we think as far as price, and this is where we see value. We'll also do a lot of the behind-the-scenes liaising with the solicitors. We'll do the title search, the legal contracts, the documents. We'll organise building and pest reports. We'll then do, as you can see here, the showcase brochure, which is some information in around the property, which is a detailed itemised report. And I'll tell you a little bit about that shortly, and I'll give you an idea on how this works really well as a visual aspect for buyers.
Luke, what's brilliant about that is you've built a presentation now that is consultative, which is great. Like, there's none of this, we're the number one in the area, we're the best, we do this. You've got these documents designed in a way that the pressure's off. This is what you get if you go with us, but it's professional and it actually matches your style. Now, for those people that haven't seen your wonderful profile video where you're walking in the building showing the business, but then you've got the combi van with the family, you've got your guitar, you've got a nice laid back groove that I think people would not think it's laid back, but you are professionally calm, and a calm presentation is difficult because everyone's so hyped. They're trying to win the business, but you've got to use a visual like this. And I use visuals my entire career. I've designed 7 different listing systems over my time, and it is to keep you rigid on track, especially on those days when you've got a stack of stuff on your mind and you're about to go into someone's lounge room. The last thing you want to do is try and be happy, funny, and bring it all together. So flipping the switch into plan B means I can just go on autopilot and take them through the 3 steps. Have you found that sort of transformation in yourself?
I feel like it's made it a lot more simple. Yeah. So I can present the 3 stages in a 30 or 40-minute presentation. I could actually simplify that down into a 5 or 6-minute presentation where it's simple, but it still delivers all aspects. So it's actually a really nice usable tool for us to be able to go, stage 1, behind the scenes, we organise all of that background work for you, from building and pest to solicitor details to organising contracts, pre-purchase inspections, and all of that information. We get all the ground heavy lifting done early so we can do stage 1 and get that ready to go. We help establish a price then, which then gets us into stage 2, which is the neighbourhood marketing, the launching live to portals, the online purchasing community feedback, and then progressing forward through reporting, data analytics, and then moving forward to extracting and confirming offers with the purchasers. From there, we move to stage 3, which is the sale. Offering acceptance, we facilitate the final inspections. We liaise with the solicitors to ensure that everything is done through a compliance factor. We make sure that the financial statements are all prepared and the property clean and pack is done. The pre-settlement inspection is complete, and then we proceed to settlement. So you can do it in a 1-minute presentation, you can do it in a 30-minute presentation, but it's so flexible and so versatile depending on, one, the client that you're relating with, whether they're analytical or logical. 2, depending on who the person is, the background, the reference, the way that you've actually been invited into their home. Or 3, the way that how much time you've got really with them. So yeah, brilliant. It's a really, really nice flexible tool to have. So yeah, I like that.
Well, let's talk about the other 2 tools that you've got to go with it. One of it is your marketing proposal, which I absolutely love. Again, it's a magazine-style document. You've used our staged marketing approach, explaining to people there is 4 campaigns, and we've done a podcast purely on the stage marketing, but that gives you that structural professional that people don't often see in a real estate agent.
I guess what's beautiful about all 3 of these documents, the showcase brochure, the marketing proposal, and our selling system, is that each one, depending on how much time you've got or the person that you're liaising with, you can deliver each one of them first, second, or third. So it makes it quite flexible. The marketing proposal is really good in that way, where you can exactly that. You can discuss our staged marketing approach. So stage 1, the buyer database, how we liaise with the buyers to make sure we can work the campaign and build that excitement. Stage 2, the social media digital inspections. Stage 3, live to the portals. Stage 4, mailbox drops, flyers, and then engaging with the purchasing community to ensure that we've got the opens and the flyers and the buyers and the communication working. So the staged approach is really good. And with the marketing proposal, the fold out there has really got each breakdown of all of the information there. Sorry, clients don't actually need to hear every step along the way. They want to see that you know what you're talking about. We can communicate through the information. They might decide they want to talk a little bit more about the floor plan, the drone photography, or they might be a little more interested in our digital marketing approach through our e-brochures or through our geofencing marketing meta platform. So
just for our listener, the marketing proposal is not a done per one. This is a fixed print document, and the marketing proposal's got the staged marketing. It's then got the full marketing menu of everything you offer. Like you're going into a cafe, there's the full menu, and they can be picking, or they know you do everything, so they don't have to discuss it. And then you beautifully go into the sale funder, prepare better, sell smarter.
That is such a beautiful addition now to our process as well. It's so lovely. When they've been here for 18, 19 years, all of their equity, all of their asset a lot of their funds are tied up in their properties. So it's a really nice way for them to release up to $60,000 to help us get the property in that stage 1 prepared with staging, with gardening, with maintenance, with smoke alarms, with pool safety certificates, whatever else we need. It's a really nice way for them to release some funds at a stress-free level where they don't feel that they have to fork out all of this money early stages, which is wonderful.
Yeah, Sales Funder has been a massive success in the market, and now that company's escalated into Agency Portal, which is now doing the settlement process, which is incredible. I was watching my daughter use that software, and it's like, wow, the digital sale is here. How many of your vendors take up the sale funding process?
If we deliver it correctly, it's actually upon sign form 6, they get the option, and even so to pay for marketing or to cover a further fund for any extra expenses with the purchase. So when we deliver the marketing proposal for, as far as the staged approach, then we talk about the key marketing pinpoint things that are suitable to their property. Then we go through to the appeal to the market, our local connections and local trades that we have through our marketing proposal. We then talk about Sales Funder and how we can help fund that. I would say probably 8 out of 10 of our clients would be utilizing stuff. And it's an absolute game changer. Marketing is paid instantly. The staging is done. All of the trades are all paid and happy. And the clients are stress-free. Generally, we sell our properties within the first 90 days. So it's a minimal interest payment for the owners. And it's just a stress-free approach for them, which is wonderful.
Well, mate, let's go into this final grand finale tool, which is the property showcasing document, which is absolutely stunning. The way you've been able to take it to another level, instead of agents, it's your professional representatives. Then it goes into 4 key photos, features, home history. I love that you've got from the owners improvements and why the move. How are the owners with responding to the question that them speaking to the purchaser in a booklet, and then why the move, actually articulating that?
It's actually a beautiful thing to incorporate the owners with this showcase brochure. A lot of agents are still using here's the property, one picture of the property in the front and a floor plan on the back. But we like to use this as a bit of a showcase brochure to showcase all of the ins and outs of the property, a bit of an information memorandum, you could say. But it's exactly that. What best works with collaborating the owners is getting their piece of the puzzle. And no one can tell a house's story or a property story better than the owners that have lived there. The beautiful thing behind it is collaborating with them and working with the owners to ensure that we've got the story right. Because we want to find buyers that may be similar to those owners that were here 18 years ago when they first started their family. Or we want to find the right people that will really connect with the property. And the owners are the ones that know the property best. So, we like to invite them along. And at first, we thought this is going to be really strange, but it's actually a really nice way to build rapport with the owners, sit in the lounge room, ask a few questions about some of the ins and outs, like what's their favourite spot? Why did you choose this house in the first place? Tell us a bit about the history, and tell us a bit about what would you like to pass on to the next owners? What have you loved about living in the home? And those little improvements that they've done that we may not necessarily be able to see, as you call it, the hidden value, that's really nice to also incorporate into the showcase brochure. And the other thing is, when we're doing open homes, we're doing viewings with buyers, it's really difficult when a buyer comes up to you and says, why the move? Why are they moving? And, if they're looking for us to say, oh, it's a fire sale, there's things happening, we're not going to fold to that level with buyers. We're going to say, look, inside the information booklet here, it's all provided. There's actually some information in there from the owners. And the reason they're moving is that the kids have now grown and flown the coop, and they're now going to downsize a little closer to the city. They want to make that next step in life. So it's a really beautiful piece of information, reading document for a purchaser to sit on their coffee table and read at night while they're having a wine and really just capture the property's value.
Yeah, and I love you got the floor plan, the site plan, property specifications page. You've got every room with every feature. If it's got a ceiling fan, air conditioning. What I really love is the suburb profile, local amenities, because if I'm buying from Sydney, I have no idea about that. You've put in the purchasing steps, 5 different sets of laws in this country, surrounding sales evidence. If I come to your area tomorrow, look, I don't know if it's 1 million, 2 million or 3 million, and you've got 6 properties that have been purchased that there's a photo of it, the address, bed, bath, car, sold, land size, price. I can drive past those. Now I can come in and make an offer. And then you've got submit an offer as a QR code on the back of the booklet. Absolutely amazing. How has the QR code part been for you, and where does that go?
So the purchasing steps at the back are fantastic because we do liaise with a lot of clients that are interstate and aren't really familiar with the legislation here in Queensland and how to make an offer. They may not have purchased a property in Queensland before, or if they have, they may have done it many moons ago. So the times have changed. We also like to put surrounding sale evidence in there. Most recent sales of 6 comparable properties, sort of in and around circa the price point of what we're hoping to achieve. But it also helps the buyers discover exactly where the market is and what the owner's expectations are, utilising comparable sale properties. And then on the back, we like to have contact your agent, but also submit an offer. We like to make it as simple as possible for the purchaser to scan the QR code, submit their name, number, email, what they're hoping to achieve price-wise. And that just starts a simple conversation through myself to the owners, just to liaise with them to see where we sit and then we can start the ball rolling from there. So the QR code has been a very nice, simple integration, but a very, very good one, because we're seeing a lot more offers be submitted through the QR code, which is wonderful.
Absolutely amazing. Luke, you've just landed in a marketplace that suits your business. You're leaving no stone unturned. The price improvement programs are happening with Sale Funder. You've got the showcasing booklet, great video work that you've been doing. Actually, we might just jump into that. You've done a lot of video work. What have you done there?
Yeah, so as far as video work, it's taken a little bit of time for us to get behind the camera. There's a lot of agents out there, quite natural to that. But for me, it was a little bit different. I'm a bit of a humble homebody. I like to be with my family at home and do sports on the weekends and tinker on the old combi and spend some time with the kids. So for me to get out there and be in front of a camera was a little bit unnatural. But upon coming to one of your complete salesperson courses, I met Clint.
Clint Rance from my video producer. Carry on.
He's amazing, and he was very, very good behind the camera in making me feel comfortable. And we did a lot of video explainers, a lot of information for our clients, and a lot of content with Clint to be able to get me comfortable behind a camera. And what that has done now is really helped us with our business as information explainers for not only just the sales, but our rep roll and other facets of our business, where it provides proof and evidence of our professionalism, which is really nice. So, yeah, we've done that with Clint, and he's obviously guided us in a bit of a background as far as how we present and what we do and how we utilize that dialogue. So it's actually more exciting now to get involved, and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
That's so good. I work with Clint a lot, all the big video shoots that I'm on for announcements, and I love the word video explainer. Just for our listener, there's a difference between a promotional video and something that explains something. And having property management explain arrears and having a video clip about when moving out, this is what you need to consider. All the things in real estate are so predictable, but the fact you guys have nailed all that, redone the visuals.
It's come a long way, and info over ego is the biggest thing that I took away from that from Clint. And it's not all about, hey, I've sold this, here's my sold sticker, here's a thumbs up, and hey, I'm the number one, I'm the biggest and the best agent in it. It's about, hey, this is the information, and this is the information we can do to help you. So that was really good.
Absolutely amazing. Well, Luke, congratulations on finishing this massive project, and you've had the impact in the marketplace that you wanted. And to everyone at 4069, if you're listening to this right now, which you are, being your Friday training session, Luke, great session, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Lee. It's been a pleasure.
Today's program is brought to you by the Agencies Portal, Australia's first AI platform, which saves 7 to 12 hours of admin per listing. It includes agency settlements, which removes 90% of the settlement admin, reduces risk but keeps you in control. Visit theagencyportal.com.au or call 1300 001 371. I'm Lee Woodward. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week.